Hey everyone, it's Thursday, the 11th of November. The time is 11:54 a.m. and the temperature outside is 6 degrees. We are inside the Redi shopping center. There's the local Alko behind this Christmas scene, taking some video of the sort of Christmas scenes around here. Alko, of course, is where you can buy stronger alcohols. Cannot do that from normal supermarkets in Finland. I think these are just Christmas displays. With some polar bears over there and penguins. This one more in this corner, we'll have a look and then make a move to the upper floors. I'm not going to go around the whole mall or shopping center. It's really beautiful. Displayed by the florist on this floor. But I thought I'd start here because I stopped by to warm up and have a look around. So we're kind of on the lower floor of a fairly new shopping center. Oh, there's a green wall in the middle, although that's not real plants if I'm correct. And today's plan is actually to go through some of the islands close by here. So we're in the Kalasatama. Wow, I've said that really weirdly again. Kalasatama district. A lot of sort of new buildings going on. But everything is by the seaside. Here's the florist. So beautiful. They put up that display in the middle that I showed you. I guess I could just go through here a little bit. It's in two parts, so we'd never kind of see all of it. Oh no, there's just a door outside here. I don't know if there's somewhere like we could see a bit of this place. It's a bit of a maze, like people living in this area who visit here complain that it's really difficult. It's in two parts, first of all. But it's fairly difficult to find your way around here. I think we're getting music anyway, so I think what I'll do is I'll just go out because I don't think I can talk over that all the time. But here's a look anyway quickly. The shopping center, it has different shops. It's one of the newer kinds as well. Going to go out through here. Look at these, so beautiful. They didn't come in through here, I think I came from the main door just across, but We can go out through here. There are some Christmas lights around. So that was more of a quick look at the Christmas lights than a real look at the shopping center here. And I'm going to make my way towards the bridge to Mustikkamaa. It's a very cute name, Blueberry Land, as a quick translation. And from there I'm going to walk over to Kulosaari. You've probably seen the map by this point. And it's been a really sunny day, but we're already seeing that it's getting a bit more cloudy. Hopefully we can see some blue skies. Always nicer to make sort of seaside walks and more park-like areas. It's nicer if it's a little bit of a blue sky. It starts looking so grey otherwise. There's a interesting Christmas decoration that probably looks a lot better in the dark, I'd say. You get the idea though. I think what I'm going to do as well, oh, here's some art before I go on to say more. I can actually take my mask off as well at this point. 2012 HC Berg. So this is a fairly big structure with two sides to it. The other one is called study, which is kind of slang for city. That's where I think we were on that side. And I'm going to make my way towards the seaside from here. I think once we get to the bridge, I'll also change to a different camera. This is a new residential area. The main city center you can see over there on the right. The seaside is there as well, I think. The camera might have adjusted the light somehow weird. Hopefully not. These are mostly fairly new residential buildings. There's a park here called Kalasatama puisto. Kalasatama literally means a fish port. And it's mostly only just these new buildings. If you'd like to see more of that, I already did a walk here, or walked here around this area earlier, so there will be video of that on the channel as well. But we're just making our way towards the bridge now. Although let's have a quick look at some of the taller buildings here. These are residential buildings, and that's the Kalasatama metro station. That's inside Redi. There's a little supermarket in the corner behind the artwork. That is some kind of a bird. Quite fun. And already in the distance is Mustikkamaa. Mustikkamaa island is connected by the bridge. It's quite a small island, mostly sort of outdoors walking area. There's a beach, and it's connected to Kulosaari, which is the other island that is the home of the zoo. So, sort of the most common thing is, or your visit to Mustikkamaa is commonly because you're on your way to visit the zoo. So I'm going to cross here, but I will show you this building I saw on my other walk. The corner there. Interesting architecture. I'm going to look for bikes. A lot of cyclists around here, which is nice to see, of course. They have quite nice cycle paths going through the whole area. So I see we now have a little bit of a wind. Might try to protect the mics a little bit from that, but that might affect the sound quality. We'll see how that goes. And the sun is definitely getting kind of covered by the clouds. So if you compare to earlier, this immediately has a more winter feel. It was also much warmer just an hour or so earlier. Or it felt warmer, I don't think if the air was, but having the sun made a real difference. And not having the wind even more so. There's a nice little place in the corner there called Harbour. And we're making our way to this bridge called Isoisänsilta, I think. Grandpa's bridge. Well, I guess grandfather's if you want to be precise. And I was commenting on these chairs earlier as well, that they're quite nice in the summer for anyone to kind of just take a seat and admire the view. We'll only be walking towards the sun for a little bit, so by the time we get to the bridge it should be better. But I guess it's nice to see the whole bridge. And here's a look at the island. And the houses around seaside, waterfront. And right here, I'll change to a different camera. I'll see you in a bit. Or very shortly, actually, for you. For me, a couple of minutes. And we're back, and both of the mics seem to be working as well. Have a quick look. The CV I know I just did, but I'm just checking that everything looks okay. Yeah, just checking it's right as well. And we're going to walk over the bridge to Blueberry Land or Mustikkamaa. Here's a look at the residential buildings in Kulosaari. I think we're going to take the route that goes through the right side of the island and just walk around it. We actually might have a nice view from the bridge towards Helsinki. Let me just walk over to that side. There's the Uspensky Cathedral, the distance. Fairly cold wind. So this is mostly an area for walking. So actually quite a few people out today. That's the path that we'll take. The sun is kind of giving me a green dot on the screen, which will probably be on the video. Here's the view towards Tuomiokiekko as well. In the distance. Of course, again, Kalasatama, and we might take a look at the Majakka lighthouse buildings. One of those bridges that you feel the wind moving the structures. And coming to Mustikkasaari. There's an ad for an Indian lunch buffet. Doesn't say, oh, it's on Sörnäisten laituri 3. Here's the whole route through the coast. We're kind of doing the end here, though we didn't come from all the way in Merirastila, but this is kind of what we're doing, going from Mustikkamaa to Kulosaari, very near to that route over there. I feel like this area has the feel of these Finnish kind of parks and outdoor areas that I'm very used to from my childhood. So it feels very familiar. You have a kind of almost not really a forest, but almost a forest. We have a lot of those and some rocks to climb over. Of course, here we also have the seaside, the waterfront. Oh, there's a boat leaving somewhere in here. The grass is still kind of green, but it's that part of the year when there's still no snow, and the colors tend to disappear as soon as the sun does as well. It gets kind of gray. It can be good for kind of lonely, thoughtful walks, but it maybe doesn't look so nice as it does in the summer. It's just the part of the year here, which I think is important to show. It's not always about how beautiful something is or what's the best time. It's definitely also about how this place actually looks. What do people actually do? As you can see, they still go out. And I quite like the walks here. On that little boat, it must be really cold with the wind because the guys on board were just jumping up and down, probably trying to warm up a bit. You can see how much that area on the other side, Kalasatama, is still under development. And then there are the Helsinki city views. The other side, I think. Some of the ships you can make out on the other side. Otso and Urho. Those are like icebreaker names. There are a couple of really well-known icebreakers in Finland that keep the ship lanes open. I won't swear by that, but I think those sound familiar names. They're on the other shore from here. This is the bridge you would take to Korkeasaari. You can buy tickets here and then make your way across. So there are all kinds of animals on the other side. I remember making many a school trip to the zoo here. It's a large area as well, so I think it was nice as a school trip to get us to walk that much. There's a lot of traffic here. Don't know what the work here is, but a lot of things going on. Ships moving. Korkeasaari, I guess you could translate as a high island or tall island. So if you hear a child, usually a child saying they're going to Korkeasaari, they associate that with the zoo. They might forget to tell you where exactly they are going and why. That's at least how I was as a child. And if anyone tells me they're going to Korkeasaari, I will get the message as going to the zoo. So here's the sign for the Rantareitti, the coast walk that we had a look at earlier. Some very impressive looking trees and houses here as well. I wonder why the white parts of a tree there. Is that part of an installation or I don't know. Fairly striking in any case until it snows. I think the seaside, while you still have this view before the snow comes, is beautiful. Of course the snow as well, but something special about the autumn views as well. They're not so hyped about as snow, but quite enjoyable if you do make it out. It's difficult as someone who grew up with the seasons to keep track of the year when there are no seasons, so you learn to love them, even if I think everyone has their favorite. Many people would actually like autumn with the colors, and if it's like today and it's not raining and still not very cold, many people who think the summer is getting a bit too warm now prefer this kind of weather. I just saw someone from Lapland write that it's not the weather that's the problem. You can dress appropriately for any weather. It's your own problem if you're not doing that. But of course you have to have some sympathy. That's a really beautiful view, I think. At least for me. Maybe if you never learn to appreciate fall or autumn like that, this is a bit weird. It is in the middle, so winter is pretty obvious to everyone, and summer. A different view on the other side. There's the beach down there, I think, with the sand. That would be quite cold right now. I did see someone swimming in Katajanokka last week. Of course, Finns are kind of crazy enough to swim throughout the year. There's a nice pier as well. So I think ice swimming has become all the craze. Catching myself pronouncing things funny. People are crazy about it, let's say it that way. So ice swimming, avantointi, includes making a hole in the ice, and sometimes places will actually have enough of an opening that you can just swim a little bit, but often it's just basically going in and coming out of the ice cold water. Even our places that have indoors swimming pools often have a section that's freezing cold. But then of course you can always go to the sauna afterwards. There's a bigger part of the beach. We can actually walk over, have a look. So this is all sort of sand. Quite lovely in the summer. And this is the facilities. It's not the right time of the year for it, but when it gets warm in the summer, this is a lovely place. We have a couple of beaches like this in Helsinki, but not too many. Here's the information about it, where you're supposed to swim, how you're supposed to behave. And who to contact if there are any problems. I think there's a little exercise corner there as well. You could do that and then go swimming in the summer.
Tässä sinun kiristyspäivää, kun ne tulee minua moneen päivään.
I saw quite a few dogs visiting the shopping center as well. Many of them wearing their winter coats if they're smaller dogs. So that's something you might not have seen depending on where you're from. This old building has suffered a bit with lack of care. So someone was asking me in the comments about the city areas and why some of them are so quiet, and if it was early morning. In general, I think there are a couple of things playing into it. I mean, obviously here there's just a lot of space, and weekdays most people will be at work, so I'm surprised to see even this many people around here. Other thing is the weather, so it's getting colder, and it's been raining a bit as well after a stretch of fairly sunny days and still not very cold. So I think a lot of people are still getting used to the idea of it being like this. Then the third thing, yes I think so, is that a lot of people don't live in the city center. It's quite expensive to do so. So you have sort of suburban areas like Tikkurila, where I posted a video from, which are almost little cities in their own right. Vantaa is a city, so Tikkurila is a bad example of that, but the train from there takes about 15 minutes if you take a fast train. So for many people it makes sense to live a little bit further away. And with the pandemic, I think a lot of people have sort of found other places closer to home to go to, and then we just have a lot of space. So the main thing about Finland is that although there are well over 5 million people, I was always told it's just 5 million, it must be close to 6 now. There's a lot of space. Small buildings around here. But there is a lot of space. Finland is a big country when you look at it on the map, and then most people will live around the seas, but they're also spread out. So the cities are not huge, and it's rare to see normal streets very busy. Just gone up the hill. You wonder why I'm quiet. Only to go down the hill again. That's an impressive boat for these surroundings. And the houses as well on the other side. We're coming to the bridge. And that will take us over to Kulosaari, which is home to some embassies and larger buildings on the seaside, amongst other things. And we're also going to have a look from here towards Redi and the Kalasatama area where we came from. So we're pretty much gone halfway around the island. You could continue on and make it a kind of nice circle. I'll go to the other side just to have the view, but I think I will then cross again. So here are the tall buildings on the other side, and Redi, where we started at. And some lucky people have their boats here, and also really nice houses there on the seaside. There's the orange metro making its way, not underground, above ground here. I think it's quite a cheerful color, especially this time of the year. So making its way east. I'll cross back here unless there's any traffic. Getting a low battery warning. We should be okay for a bit though. I just thought I kind of lost the video there. Here's another look towards the boat. It's a really nice looking area there. And they would have great views of the island and the sea because the windows are so large. That's probably how to build a building around this area, maximize the views. I wonder if I covered all the reasons why it's fairly empty here. Main reasons being people are working. It's in the middle of the week. Many of them still working from home offices as well, not venturing out as much. Plus we just have space. Maybe not around these areas, actual space to build, but it's nice to be able to have an island like Mustikkamaa. And we are back. I had to change the camera back again because of the battery. I am charging it now, but that's going to take a bit. So for the end of this walk I'll just use the Pocket 2 again that we started with. It won't be a long way to go from here, so we should be fine, even though I seem to have a low battery on everything right now. Maybe it's the colder weather as well. see. Kind of want to make my way through here. It seems they're doing some work. Might be difficult to bypass. I'll see where I can get back to them. Or if I can go around. Wow. So that was the house of an Olympic athlete, Hannes Kolehmainen. Nice that they have the information there. I mean, you couldn't know otherwise. It's on the other side, a really lovely wooden building. Kind of covered by the trees though. Some work is being done in this area. So what I was saying before, I got cut off, was that once you drive out of Helsinki or take the train out of Helsinki, there are a lot of forests and fields, and well, we'll see a bit of that actually. We'll be traveling in a week or so, and we'll, I think we should get through here, through this alleyway, and then maybe I'll see a bit of that part of Finland. I know it's not as interesting as cities, but it's where I'm going, so I'll record that. And it's a very real part of Finland that we have a lot of space that is just lakes, forests and fields. So it's not really so accurate if you just cover the city. It's also not feasible for me, so whatever the other excuses might be, that's what's going to happen. Lovely houses around here, of course. The sea is right there. This is such a beautiful area. They're not cheap houses. But it is really, really beautiful around here. And more so, I'm sure, in the summer, when you could enjoy the gardens. There's the embassy there. Not so surprising when you see the area that there are a couple of embassies around. Nice little park over here. Turning onto Kulosaaren tie, named after the island. We're in Kulosaari, Saari meaning island in Finnish. surprised this building even is called a villa. That's what it looks like. Beautiful. And this one as well at the end. Beautiful. Another embassy here. And I guess we're going to the one which is the only one that has been built to resemble the style you'd see in that country. Although I'm not sure. We might be on the wrong side of it anyway. Have a look back. I think I'm running out of battery as well. Lovely building on the other side. That will take you towards the other side again. It's not a very familiar area to me at all, so I'm not sure about the embassy buildings and those in detail, but I can see them around here. Really interesting house on the other side with the large windows. Many of the embassy buildings around here just look like pretty much any nicer building would. Which makes sense if you're not sort of purpose building it. And often that doesn't really make a lot of sense. Are really beautiful buildings in any case, embassies or not. For example here. I think I see the one that I was talking about earlier. I hope I have enough battery left to show you that building that really looks like doesn't quite fit here. Not this one, by the way. I think this is really beautiful. It's there ahead. You can probably see the window shape already. Hoping to end up on that waterfront there. But we'll see how it goes. It's the mailman. I really want to turn here and kind of have a look up towards the church. It's really beautiful. I'm sure you kind of can see at the end of the road that they've designed something that's completely different to the rest of the area. I believe, is that Iraq? Haven't seen the flag yet. Look at these buildings here. So these are pretty cool as well. I am running out of batteries. I think that's as much of the embassy at the end of the road we'll see, and I'll just take Vapaamuuravinkuja and we'll see if I can make it down to the waterfront. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this walk from Kalasatama all the way to this area in Kulosaari through Mustikkamaa, Blueberry Land, of course. And if you'd like to see more videos from Finland or from Singapore, where I usually record these walks, then please don't hesitate to subscribe to the channel so you get notifications when new videos are published. I appreciate all of you who have joined and subscribed and all the support. So with these views of the water side and a surprisingly green grass area, thanks for joining today. And I hope I'll see you again soon.